Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm Captain Higgimus, Corporal First Class, and I play a Giff fighter.
Hi, I'm Davey Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon, who's a human fighter, and not Crow, from an asteroid near Brow.
Hi, I'm Daikamisama, and I play half-elven cleric mage Solas Abebha.
Hey, I'm James. I play Ockar, human child of Brow, and I'm happy that, unlike Priest of Odin, I don't have to deal with birds all day.
I'm Kiji-kun. I play Sinrae Nalio. She is a courier from parts all over.
Parts all over. I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
Hi, I'm Zakat. I play the multi-class elven specialty priest and thief. He's a specialty priest of the trickster, the Fey Jester, and he's suffering from this weird sense of deja vu, like he's been in a desert or something. I don't know. He's not quite sure why.
See, and I was expecting you to have
Crows.
some sort of title related to a,
Oh, you mean
Crow
the treasure
Whisperer or
hunter?
something.
No,
Well, that may be too, but no, I was
No,
expecting more something in
Laf-
reference to the crow.
Lafdul's title is
No,
Friend of Crows.
he's putting as much distance as he can or association with that crew far behind him.
But you love that crow.
You know,
No.
crow-
Good on you, and marked you as his.
No, I
Crows are
burned that crow
secret.
alive.
crows are usually avatars of trickster gods, so you should be careful.
I can't remember. Is the sacred animal of Odin a crow or a raven?
Oh yeah, that's something to do with your religion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Raven.
Okay. So
Although
I don't
I'm
care
not
about crows.
sure that there's really a difference between crows and ravens.
Ravens are a lot bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, it is about midday on Corlean Moor. You guys did have that exciting event with the crow last time, and I know
Exciting,
that there
right?
was
Reminds me.
exciting, extremely exciting, especially for Lafdul.
Well, Lafdul doesn't endorse the DM's decisions. He
Well-
never has much say in it, but you know, he's gonna put
Lafdul,
his...
it's a good thing that your
thoughts
clothes aren't
made
dry clean
public.
only.
Well, Lafdul doesn't really know that being called DM exists.
The DM is God.
Yeah, don't break the fourth wall.
What?
Yes.
The
What's
fourth
this
wall is
fourth war you talk of?
the fourth wall is crystal sphere, and then the phlogiston will come in, and the sun will explode, and we'll all die.
Sounds awfully religious for you, Brax.
He's planning to become a cleric at some point.
Yeah, Brax is becoming more and more religious of late.
I blame his
I
sister.
think he's gearing up for a dual class.
Yeah, just give him all the wisdom books and make all the clerics and priests in the party very angry with him.
He's got decent wisdom, don't you, Braxton?
He's got like 14, hasn't he? Something like that.
Higgimus.
I don't think wisdom scores exist in the real world.
Sure they do. We just can't see them.
All right, so you guys had some ideas on what you wanted to do next. Was there a specific thing that you wanted to start off doing? You wanted to do first?
I completely forgot what we're doing.
Yeah, I kind of did as well. I really genuinely did.
All right, let me check my...
I
New idea. So one was we were going to talk with the village beggar because he had been acting strangely, and so had the village minstrel.
Oh, he's something along the lines of the village will get what's coming to him or something.
Yeah, and being more arrogant than normally.
I recapped some of it over in our group chat.
Our group chat. Oh, on Discord.
Yeah. And one thing I would like to do during this session is to check out those two locations on the north that we do not know yet.
Yeah, there's so much of the map. We just don't explore that. I'll make all this detail for.
Since
Yeah.
they were points of interest, so they might be something useful.
If we do go to the underside, maybe we can look for an underdark in the middle of the asteroid.
Well, there wasn't anything obvious on the way down, so it would have to be like a secret entrance.
Right.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah, but
So
we have no instance.
Searching for the whole passage to the other side. That would take quite a long time.
So I remember that Braxon also wanted to ask about some ships that had visited 2 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
the little kid was rescued from a wreck about a couple of months ago, around the time the weird thing started.
Yes, and I think we wanted to talk to the little girl if we could do it without scaring her or getting her in trouble.
So what do you want to do first?
And also Sinrae was going to try and perform in the tavern.
That was just a... If we're in town, I might try to, but that's a...
I mean, it
Right.
could be useful.
Could be.
Could it make people like us?
Or hate us.
Or
How
we
good
could
are you
use it
playing
as
that
a
thing?
distraction.
I mean, right now you're in this area.
Yeah.
Because you visited that farmhouse
didn't we
nearby.
end in the Lurik's camp? Since part of us went to
Oh,
the
right.
tavern.
No, yeah, you're right. You went back to Lurik's
Lurk.
camp, and that's where everything happened. I forgot.
Yep.
If
Did it?
we're near
I thought
the
it happened
town,
like somewhere around there.
No, because you went back to Lurik's camp because that's how you everyone met up with each other.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
right,
we
yeah.
were waiting on the Lurik's camp since we didn't know where exactly they were.
Yeah,
They
Lurik
went
got
track
to see...
those cats.
Lurik and his...
He got to see us interrogate a bird.
Yes.
The people over here
And
were very
also,
unfriendly.
everyone got a hearty chuckle when the crow did his thing on Lafdul.
Was that Leva?
Just saying the people here in this area were very unfriendly.
the kid knew
They're
something.
just guarded. I wouldn't say
No,
they're
the
He
kid-
did
friendly.
something, but his dad
No.
didn't want him to tell anybody.
We need to sneak back and find the kid
Yeah,
and talk to the kid at some point.
Well, we could do it do it and at the same time possibly go and visit these two locations.
Yeah.
At least to know what they are, if they are important or not.
If you're going to talk to that beggar that lives near town, we're nearer that location now. aren't we?
Yeah, that probably should be our first stop.
All right. So, what are our options right now? What we have going? We have.
Visit the beggar's house, which is that shack west of the village.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one.
And then go and check out the two locations north side of the map to know what
Okay.
they are.
That's
Yeah.
two. And then what do you
And-
have in mind, Sinrae?
My just was for possibly trying to talk to the little girl.
Little girl. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's a good idea.
before we camp for the night, I do want to go back to Artie's cave and give him some more food and make sure he's still alive.
You need to
Oh.
make sure we're not followed.
There
Yeah.
was. I do have locate object memories. I can, at the very least, should I just write off whether or not it's in town?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
We should do that. I completely forgot you'd had that spell. For some reason, that wasn't in my notes.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
going to be able to do anywhere else other than town because
You only have one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just to write town off the list.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably the best idea we have at the moment.
Yeah, we can write down and the beggar's shack off the list.
Okay.
Where's-
Well, that sounds like we can get a whole bunch of stuff done all in one spot.
Yeah.
Or area,
Yeah.
I should say.
You could walk
So
through.
let's-
You could basically walk through town to get to the shack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Braxon wants to ask about ships that came in a couple of months ago as well.
Yeah, well, that can be done at Div's house, I think. Since
Yeah.
Div should be the one who knows about the ships,
Yeah.
since he was the one who basically negotiates all the trade deals. If I remember correctly.
All right. So, do you want to head to town first, then?
Sounds like a plan.
good idea.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Okay.
Also, along the way, if we can encounter that little girl, maybe Sinrae or Braxon could try to talk to her, see what's going
Yeah.
on with her. Although I think she's like a greater demon or something. No.
We could use if Sinrae goes to perform
This
in
is
the
not
tavern,
Father's Gate.
try to use that as a distraction while someone tries to talk with the girl.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, no, you will get in so much trouble if you use me performing to sneak into a little girl's room.
I'm not saying sneak into, but
How wrong is
no,
this?
you
I'm not that kind of holy
take
man.
this quite the wrong way.
I just think, they're probably gonna have her up in her room.
What I mean is a distraction so that you can actually talk to her, so that everyone isn't just basically keeping eye on you whole time.
Mm.
I'm not saying sneaking in her room. That's quite wrong.
We might talk to the innkeeper's wife because she is quite open to talking to us and see whether she'd be amenable to participate in something.
She already said no.
We could talk to her, but it would have to be during when her husband or the villagers were not present.
Yeah, and we tried to ask to talk to the little girl when we had talked to her before, and she pretty didn't want us to talk to the little girl.
I could think of
Could
several
ask
reasons
again.
why she didn't want that.
I could make a spell that would make that kid less scared of us.
Well, I was thinking of if we see her, me sitting down and pulling out my flute and start playing, which could draw her over, because...
you want to go
music.
all Pied Piper on this.
I mean, I did make that joke.
Well, I do have a
Just don't
potion.
draw into
of,
a river or something.
I do have a potion of was it human talking or something? 1 second here, real quick.
Probably glibness, isn't it, or something? I can't
Potion of
remember.
glibness makes you better at talking to people. Potion of human control essentially is charm.
Filter persuasiveness.
And then there's that one that I forgot about too. Yeah.
So I have that potion. Maybe be thinking of a time when we could use that to, if we really need to convince somebody or something, or get them to talk to us, that we really need to use it, because it's just a one-time thing. We can never have it again. So
Lafdul's
keep that in mind.
Unless you find another
Lafdul's
one.
got this really terrible idea.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
wait,
dear.
never mind. No.
So, a normal Lafdul idea?
No, I was like, just get the kid to drink a potion of youth. Then it just turns into a child who steals the baby weight, clever ages her.
See, now you're starting to sound like a elf from like mythology.
Well, he is a trickster worshipper.
Also remember, I can influence people through my music.
All right. Well, let's keep all that in mind, and let's go through town and do the plan where Lafdul tries to search for whatever it is he's, and then we go talk to a person in the shack.
Okay.
Sound good?
Lafdul also wanted to basically, since the innkeeper was talking about bringing us another keg of ale, Lafdul didn't want him to go to the tower ruin because he got the plant growth in there.
Basically, I think we overheard the conversation, and I told the party about it. What he was saying to his wife. I think he's just tributing us to keep us appeased, so to speak. I don't think he's got any ill intent, but
Yeah.
the more reason we shouldn't give. He's going to find out about their thing anyway.
The thing.
Well,
What we did at the tower. I suppose
The plant
ideally I
crossbow.
would like to intercept him before he decides to make a trip up.
Right.
I mean, why would he make a trip up there? This place is supposed to be dangerous.
Well, he wanted to bring us the keg of ale.
It's supposed to be dangerous at night.
Yeah. I mean, the villagers have told us that they sometimes allow sheep to graze there during daytime.
Right.
So,
It's still a lot of work to go to the top of a hill and give us a free keg of ale.
well, like
Well-
Lafdul said, he wants to appease us.
But
Well-
we did offer to pick it up from him, and he was pretty much like, "Oh no, I'll take it up." But yeah, intercepting is probably going to be good.
Well, let's go do the things that we have planned here, and then we can think about what we're going to do next after.
Yeah.
To the town.
Otherwise, we're just going to be sitting here and analyzing everything to death.
That seems to happen a lot. All right, so
So-
you get to the outskirts of town. Lafdul, you're gonna cast a spell and then walk through town scanning.
6 minutes it will last for.
Okay, and
So-
how? What's the range?
Hang on. 60 yards, 120 yards.
Yeah. All right. You can cover the village easily in that time.
as he's gonna do that, I'm gonna walk with him and do my. Can I just do like a general detect evil intent as we're walking around?
Yes, but all it won't be on any one. It'll only be on the place or objects.
Yeah.
That's
If
fine.
anyone's staring at me while I'm doing this, actually, hang on. Let me just check the.
It'd still give me some information.
Requires a piece of lodestone. Yeah, which I've got. I'm just seeing if how I cast a spell.
The
If
trouble
it's
is that
detect evil.
the
No,
trouble
it's-
is that. Right.
Braxon, go ahead.
No.
The trouble is, Braxon.
The trouble with Ockar's plan is there aren't any tents in town, so he
Is that-
can't detect evil intent.
Oh.
That doesn't. No.
I like the way Ockar thought it was a genuine question at first and instantly realised.
So, Lafdul,
I
you're
have-
using the sketch. I think you guys got a sketch of the amulet.
Yeah, we got a sketch
locket?
of the amulet.
Locket.
Yeah.
Okay.
The visual aid.
Okay.
Oh god. Am I?
No, the scale's not right on the second map. It's right for the
Oh.
first map, so don't worry about that.
20 feet. Yeah, so every. Alright. Yeah. Sure, I'll just prim.
Yeah, just walking
can just look
downtown,
up.
looking. Yeah, yeah. All right, and so you get through town, and you do not detect that locket anywhere around. So if it's around, it's blocked by something.
Can I look down the well?
It's not a well; it's a pump. Oh, actually, there
near
is
the
a
pump.
well. There is a well down here. I'm sorry.
Alright, I look down towards the pumping well. Someone might have just thrown it down the well or something.
Oh, there's a well as well as a pump.
Yes.
Oh.
You do not detect anything down the well.
Alright, well, that's pretty much the extent of my spell.
Okay, so
Well,
if
we
it
always
is in
left
town,
ours.
if it is in town, you know that it would have to
It'd be
be
fine.
blocked by
Right.
whatever blocks the spell.
Are we all with Lafdul? So he's gone off on his own.
No,
Well,
I've gone with the party. Or maybe a
Ockar
few
Ockar
people.
went with him for sure.
Yep.
It's up to everyone
If
else.
we go around as a group, then it draws a lot of attention to us.
Well, then just a duo is fine.
Yeah, just a couple of us.
Okay.
I think rest of us can go and head to the shack.
It only takes him.
Well,
He's only spending a couple minutes doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of us could wait someplace while he finishes.
Okay.
Or play the flute like a Pied Piper.
Yeah, but it's only a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Do we see the little girl as we're walking through town?
Let me see. Alright, let's see. No, you do not.
Alright.
But then again, you were only walking through town for about 5 minutes, so. Alright, so with that taken care of, Ockar, you did not detect any emanations of evil from any of the objects in town.
Okay.
So you make your way out of town and over to where you were indicated that the beggar's shack was?
Yeah.
Wait, just before that, why is there a well and a pump?
The pump is extremely old.
Does it still work?
Yeah, it seems to. But it's also...
Was there any rules about do not use or don't touch, don't meddle, don't break? Or...
Not that you heard, but at the same time, you know, I mean, 2 sources of water is not exactly a bad thing.
No.
Yeah.
Well, one assumes it comes from the same source. It's too close to each other.
Right, but it's also, I mean, it's more a case of if there's a really long line at the pump, then
Or
people
say
can
fire
go to the
breaks
well.
out.
Is the pump dwarven in origin?
Yes.
Yeah. How big is the well?
Well-sized.
Well sized.
Was
It's
the well made by the village?
You've never asked
I don't
anyone,
think we've asked.
so you don't
Something
know.
we should ask.
Is there any way we could check the water from the pump?
Sure.
I think my character has already drank it on the first day.
I don't remember one way or the other, but
Since he went to check the pump.
And you feel okay?
it's been a few days.
alright.
If something was going to happen, it
Yeah.
probably would have happened by now.
Alright. was just a thought with the dwarven stuff we ran into before.
The well has like the stones used in the well are the same size as the stones used in the stone buildings in town. Not all the buildings in town are stone, but many of them are.
Should we...
Real fast,
speak to-
Solas, do you have engineering?
Mhm. Yeah, I have engineering.
All right, go ahead and roll me a proficiency check.
Okay.
You are pretty sure that they both draw from the same source.
Yeah.
Maybe we should look down the well at some point.
Lafdul said that he used his spell to look down the well.
Right.
So nobody's poisoned the watering hole.
Well, I mean, he was looking for he was using locate
Yeah,
object to check for the locket down there.
Oh no, I was making
Oh,
a
right.
joke about if the water from the pump didn't affect.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's more
Or
thinking.
if they have poison, it's a really long affecting poison.
I was more wondering if there might be any more dwarven ghosts that are coming up through the well.
No one you've talked to has reported any ghosts in town.
No.
They only
But,
talked about ghosts up at the tower.
Yeah. Well, we haven't managed to find an entrance into the Underdark near the tower.
Nope.
Maybe there's one down here.
We haven't even searched that much.
There is...
True.
Yes, Lafdul?
I remember asking you about this, but I never actually. I'm looking at the detect spirit spell. It's supposed to be uncommon with priests, but it's automatically granted if you're a follower of Saheen Moonbear. So it'd just be a case of I might have it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have it. You'd probably have to learn it and find out if it is accessible to you. It's more of a shaman spell, and you are not a shaman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Saheen does all the visions.
Well, it's a special case for her, but it was a spell added into the game in a supplement that included shamans and shaman spirit powers. So that's what it's related to.
No.
Before we
But no,
leave
you don't have it
town,
right now. Yes?
say, do we want to drop in on Mother Weir again to see if she's home yet?
Well, I wanted to go see Div and find out what ships came in a couple of months ago.
I think Mother Weir is still on the other side.
Speaking of Div, should we tell him about what we've done up at the tower, just to break it in, to make it a little bit, so it's not a surprise, so to speak.
I think maybe Braxon should tell his sister, who then would probably know better whether or not Div would.
It's a good idea.
Find out.
Yeah, when I go up there, it's not usually my sister there, it's usually Div.
Well, I mean, do you want to do one of these things or not?
Well, Braxon's going to go off to Div and Ravilla's house.
I'll check by Mother Weir as well. He's doing that.
Okay. And are you doing this while Lafdul is scanning the town with his spell?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sinrae, there is no response at Mother Weir's house.
All right.
And Braxon, you head to Div's house, and Ravisa answers the door. Oh, hi, brother.
Yeah. Hi. Are you available for a few moments?
Oh, indeed. Yes, come on in.
We were wondering what ships might have come in about 2 months ago.
Oh, you'd have to talk to Div about that.
Div knows about that. Okay, fair enough.
I believe he's visiting one of the farmers, discussing a shipment that they need to make. I don't know of what. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, we found a couple of sheep that were attacked on the road leading down to the docks. We tried speaking to the shepherds in the nearby farmhouse. We think the young one knows something, but the father didn't want him talking about it.
That is far too common here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even I'm not really accepted as a native, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you're not, we're not going to be. We've grown some fortifications up near the tower. You might be hearing a few rumors if anyone goes up there.
Yes. That has been noted by some of the folk. You might want to be careful.
Oh yeah? Careful about what? About?
Well, I mean, it is clearly magic that was at work there.
Ah, right. Are they suspicious about magic then?
Well, yes and no. It's just more that they don't really have much access to it. Obviously, everyone knows that the ships that travel from asteroid to asteroid use magic to get about, but these are mostly a simple folk, and if they don't have personal interaction with it, then they're going to be suspicious as to the motives behind someone using it.
Or we were trying to keep out the ghosts.
Not exactly sure that plants would help with ghosts.
They seem to.
I certainly don't know much about ghosts,
Yeah.
but that does tend to be one of the things that they are known for, is being able to move through things, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we wasn't sure if the dwarf that attacked us was a ghost or was real.
Hmm. Well,
We still have.
unfortunately, I don't know much about that myself.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone talks about the ghosts up there, but I don't believe anyone's actually seen it. It's always, my brother's sister's friend kind of story.
Have these stories about ghosts been there forever, or is it a recent thing?
As long as I've been here. But I haven't been here that long.
Yeah.
I didn't get the impression that they were new.
Right. Because I was wondering whether they were something someone made up to keep people away from the tower.
Well, that seems rather unlikely now, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to keep looking for the monster. Apparently a bird. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you later.
A bird, you say?
Mm-hmm.
There's a few songbirds about, and crows, of course, but I don't know of anything bigger than that.
Yeah, I've not seen a bird, but that's what we heard.
Alright, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else wanted to check on anything during Lafdul's sweep of the town?
No. I'd probably
I'm
just
good.
keep a look.
Well,
out
you're
within
sweeping the
base-
town with him using your detect
Oh, right,
evil
yeah, I'm
intent.
doing
So.
that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay out of the way so as not to scare the locals.
Okay.
You're a big guy and people are scared of you.
Sometimes.
Alright, so you head to, after everyone's done, you head over to where you were directed to the shack.
Mhm.
Okay. There is a bit of a beaten path to the shack. Nothing even close to that could be called a road in any sense of the term. It's just, clearly a path that someone or some people have walked. And you come to a pretty ramshackle building. It's definitely seen better days. It appears that it might have once been a farm building, although it looks more like a barn than an actual house. There's some foundation stones nearby as well, so that might have been the farmhouse. It's hard to tell. The place is not in good repair. It definitely needs rethatching, but it is surprisingly large. So for being oftentimes referred to as a shack, it's fairly good sized.
Okay.
I was expecting to find like a shed type structure.
He's a well-to-do beggar.
Well, country folk have different definitions for shacks, it seems.
Well, and also, I mean, it's ramshackle. Like, I mean, to your eyes, you kind of, you're like looking at it and you're like, how is this thing not fallen down yet, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Aesthetic.
All right,
You're
who wants to
saying
talk
that
to this
it might
person?
be engineering problem to study.
Well, Ockar is the one that had such the generous donation. Perhaps he will approach the door with me.
I'm currently with Lafdul.
No, you guys all came back together.
Okay.
This is after that, after you've done in town.
Sure, I can do that.
If Higgimus knocks on the door, it'll probably fall off.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think the whole shack might collapse if Higgimus even sneezes at it.
All right, so Sinrae and Ockar, you're gonna head to the door and knock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The door seems to have newer hinges on it, but they are just leather hinges, not metal hinges. You knock on the door and wait a moment, and then another moment. Finally, you hear some movement, and the door slowly opens, and you see the hunchbacked, club-footed man. And seeing the pair of you, he grins widely, which is kind of a disconcerting expression from him. And he says, "Ah, my friends, I believe you were quite generous the other day. Have you come to visit my castle?"
Why, yes, sir. We've come to be generous again. If perhaps in exchange for some information?
Well, I'm unfortunately my castle is not really in shape for visitors, but it is a nice day out. It is not a nice day out. It's cloudy and overcast and threatening rain. So he steps out and closes the door behind him. He's kind of leaning on maybe an old crutch or something like that. And he says, "What can I do for you?"
Well, we were hoping you might have some information for us. In particular, about the young lady that went missing.
Well, I don't know what I could tell you. I mean, it is pretty clearly that fiend Ardy who is behind all this, is it not? It's certainly what everyone is saying in town.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you believe, sir. And we are prepared to be quite generous for information.
Yes.
My paladin friend here has quite deep pockets.
Braxon's going to raise an eyebrow at Ockar.
Were you like? Is everyone there, or was it just Ockar and Sinrae who went up?
I'm standing farther away.
I'm giving Sinrae a look like, what are you getting me
sorry.
into?
Yeah, I'm out there with Solas.
Well, you were quite generous last time, Ockar, so she's using that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much you're actually promising this guy. Because, like, I gave him, like, 20 gold the first time, but...
That's pretty generous.
That's
If you're
more
not
than
trying to
what
get me to give him, like, 1,000 or something.
No,
I think
no.
I think that was more generous than that beggar had
in his
gathered
entire year.
before. Yeah, before.
Yeah,
Way more money
so...
than the village makes a year.
It might even be why he has new hinges on his door.
It might be.
Might be.
Probably.
Yeah, he's got new leather hinges.
Well, I mean, I suppose I could talk a little bit about this. Let me just sit down. He takes a seat on a rather large stone that's kind of in his yard. Looks like it was probably once a stone used for a wall, like a piece of the wall, but it's not actually near the foundations.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let Sinrae handle the asking the questions.
Well, I mean, do you have a specific question? Are you wondering what my thoughts are? It takes some time to, summon up my memories and everything.
Well, I you probably get to hear and see more than most people would probably want you to at times. So you might have information that others might not wish to share. And I'm sure the town people have not treated you the best over the years.
They treat me well enough, considering. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's takes some time to, remember what you want me to ask. My mind isn't the best, you know. He seems to be waiting for something.
I'm going to place down 5 gold pieces. Does this
Oh,
help with your
yes,
memory?
yeah. Oh, it is amazing how quickly the memories can come back. Yeah,
Of course, of course.
yes. So, I am completely convinced that it is Artie. You've surely heard by now about the blood found at his house and on young Finera's dress and everything like that.
We have. It just seems a little too.
Convenient.
Yes, that it would be the outsider. Has anyone in town acted differently recently? Say the past 2 months?
Well, I mean, if it was just, an outsider, it could have been that Revisa lady or young L. I mean, there's outsiders. Of course, it could have been me. I've lived here all my life, but I'm very much an outsider to the people in town. No, if they were just looking for an outsider, they had plenty to choose from. It was surely Artie. Just
It was
the
possible
blood.
somebody.
How can you
it's possible
argue
that
with the
somebody
blood?
used him as a scapegoat of sorts.
Well, sure, but it's also possible that there's a demon flying about and eating things, couldn't it? I mean, it could be possible that this whole island is a gammaroid or something. I mean, there's endless possibilities.
Funny,
Why would you say something about a demon flying around? That's an awful specific thing to say. While he is talking, Sinrae is watching his body language and seeing what she can pick up.
I'm doing my whole detect.
Why are you staring at me, sir?
Sorry.
It's a paladin thing. He
Yes.
stares. We've been trying to break him of it.
It's
Pay
a
it no
thing my
mind.
religious order has put into me. I stare a lot. Sorry.
It's
He's
supposed to be something about seeing into the soul. I think it's nonsense, but he's a good fighter. That's why we keep him around.
he's very much playing with the 5 gold pieces that you gave him, focusing on them. It's specific. I mean, this island could be a giant turtle. I mean, it could be orcs hiding inside this asteroid in some caves. I mean, it's just something that I made up. I don't know what you're talking about.
Give him more money.
He's
I'm gonna place down another 5 gold pieces.
Oh my! This is fantastic. This is. Oh, I could replace so many hinges.
Does that help with your thought process some?
It was, as I said though, it was just something that I said. It wasn't based on anything. I was just.
Have you perhaps think you saw something? Anything could help.
No. I've only been to the town and back out here. I cannot move very far, very fast, so I do not wander about anywhere.
Well, why don't you tell us about young Elle?
What do you want to know about her?
She came here
she's
about...
quiet. She, from what little she says, she's very polite.
Do you remember the circumstances of her arriving 2 months ago?
Oh, let's see. I believe that Div brought her into town, said that she was found by one of the traders on a wrecked ship, something about pirates. I don't really know. I haven't talked to her about it. She does not seem to wish to talk about it. When it's mentioned in her presence, she kind of, closes up and hides away, or something like that.
Understandable.
That is understandable. Ockar, give our friend here another 5 gold pieces.
Alright.
I have a very specific question, and
Fine,
For
I'm
him.
gonna put down another 5.
Poor Ockar.
sir,
Good thing I have
could you perhaps shed some light on why you would say the townspeople were going to get what was coming to them? She's studying his body language very closely, by the way.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never said that.
Have you not?
No.
He,
Who would say such a mean thing?
Someone that's been treated as an outcast by a town.
No, I
that
mean
he was
someone who
born
would say
into?
such a mean thing about me.
Well,
or you made
I don't want to divulge my sources on that. But, sir, it would be completely understandable. If you had said such a thing, we're only trying to get to the bottom of what's going on here.
Well, I mean, I've never said any such thing, and I would very much like to know who would say such a mean thing about me. May have to go have a word with Div and have
Your
him
friend's Div?
have him perhaps not trade with them anymore if they are going to say such slanderous things about a poor fellow down on his luck. Less so now, he
Why?
says, holding up his the coins.
Why would Div
Yes.
Why would Div trade or not trade on your say-so, sir?
I don't know that he would or would not, but he is the closest thing we have to a mayor.
I've noticed that a lot of people seem to defer to him.
Do you
Well,
talk
he
to
is
Div
the
a
merchant.
lot?
No, I do not speak with him much. I don't produce much that he'd be interested in, but I am a member of the community.
Hmm.
Would fast talking help me here at all? Ald?
Probably not. Fast talking is really
Yeah.
about conning someone. So unless there was a specific con that you were going for, like,
Yeah, no.
either a look over there kind of thing, or no, this is really a good deal kind of thing.
Alright. Anybody have any ideas of what to ask?
Not sure we're there.
I meant by out of character.
All right.
So the other place now, I'm snooping around the house. Been telling all
Oh.
of you. The outside, not inside.
Use crowd working, but there's only one person. That's not really a crowd.
Beggar
You could
working.
You could ask
mean-
some stuff about the history of the place, like the tower and the well and
Ah.
other things.
I'm
Ask
sorry.
about the birds.
I'm sorry to have upset you, sir. Wasn't my intention. People talk, you know how it is.
Yes,
Uh,
but I am most disappointed that someone in town would say such awful things about me.
Well, people, it's scary times. Sheep dying, people going missing, people falling sick. Even the best of people can become frightened, do things they wouldn't ordinarily do or say.
I
I'm
suppose.
I'm sure you can understand that. Is there anything about the history of of this asteroid you could possibly tell us about? The tower, maybe, or
Oh, the haunted
any
tower? I have heard that you've been staying up there. How has it been? Seen any ghosts?
actually, yes.
Oh,
kind of.
do tell. This would be a fantastic story, I suppose.
Well, we had an incident with a weird.
Well, no, wait, Ockar. Sinrae is going to grin, and she's going to go into full bardic, storytelling mode.
Oh God.
Are you embellishing it?
I am embellishing it. I am embellishing the story of the battle and everything. Do you want me to roll anything for that?
No, that's fine.
At least try to make me look good.
You looked a lot, but you did a lot better than Braxon did. Yeah, and she pretty much finishes with the, and then as the sun hit the dwarf, he screamed this unholy scream, and dissolved into nothing, as if he was never there.
He gives a clap and says, "Oh, that was a rousing tale. You should come to the tavern and tell it. I'm sure that people would very much enjoy it. I do not know that they'd believe it, though."
And we have some battle scars to prove it, at least.
Oftentimes, the most enjoyable tales are the ones people don't believe are real, but I will keep that in mind. I had been wanting to perhaps stretch my storytelling abilities over at the tavern. I just wouldn't want to step on the toes of the normal performer there. Tevin, I believe his name was?
Duvin. This guy's name is Tevin.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Duvin.
Yes, Duvin. Well, I mean, if you just butter him up a bit, I'm sure he'd be fine with it.
I will keep that in mind.
He is a fan of the flattery, shall we say.
I understand that. I'm sure I can flatter him. Ockar, do you have any questions for our friend here?
One kind of came to mind. Do you know of anybody in town that can cast spells other than because some things we've seen only make sense if like somebody with magic could have done it.
No, I don't believe anyone uses any magic in town. We are a poor community after all. I mean, people certainly say that that fiend Artie is a great necromancer or some such, or an enchanter or something. Clearly, the only way he could have gotten the lovely Finera to fall for him was through magic. So some people say. But of the residents in town, no, I don't believe anyone does.
Are there any rumors of witches or mages living in the swamps?
No, I think that most of the stuff about the swamp is just, be careful where you step. You might get stuck, kind of thing.
Sinrae laughs.
Or attacked by giant monster plants.
Yes, I think some of my compatriots discovered that the hard way.
Some of them probably still have the mud on them. In fact.
Yes, they do.
I don't think Ockar got stuck, but he probably has some
No, I
mud
think
on
you
him.
did.
Yeah.
I think just about everyone did at one point.
Well, not Leva flew.
Well, yes, but I meant of the warriors.
Sir.
Yes, not a very good experience with the swamp.
Did you like Finera? Was she kind to you?
Oh, she was nice to everyone, yes, indeed. That's why it was so terrible what happened to her.
Was there anyone in particular in town that was particularly taken with her? before Artie came.
I mean, suppose you could say just about everyone who wasn't already married.
That doesn't really narrow it down.
No, it
Anyone-
doesn't.
Anyone that seemed to perhaps feel like they deserved her, or they had the right to her over, say, an outsider.
Well, unfortunately, people don't talk that way to me. They don't share those types of thoughts and feelings with me.
Right.
When did you start suspecting Artie?
Well, I mean, when he's a stranger, and then we get to his place, find blood on her clothing. What is there to suspect but know for sure?
Were you with them when they went up to Artie's house?
No, I was not. I live a bit far away out here, you know.
Yes. Alright, yes, we're just trying to figure out anything we can to perhaps, hopefully, maybe even find her alive. Though, that, I hope, might be unsustainable, but, for her father's sake.
I mean, given what I heard about the visit to Artie's place, I would not put too much stock in the belief that she's alive. I know Finnan believes it, but he's also drunk these days, you know.
You never know. We've had some near impossible things happen before in our adventures.
Yes, you never know what's actually going on sometimes. You think it's one thing, and suddenly you're faced with an impossibility that's the truth.
I can tell you quite a few tales of some crazy stuff we've encountered on
Oh,
the
do
Rocket Brawl
tell.
by itself.
Do tell.
Well, and I'm gonna tell them a few of the tales, like the one where we were in the Underbrawl, and then the one with the Shao vampire thing.
Should I tell him? Should I tell him about the fox bard that was
that one
bewitching
too.
people?
Yeah, that one too. A few tales of some things that we've encountered just on the Rocket Brawl itself.
Well, so you're gonna tell him?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recount, and I'll recount with embellishments again
And I'm recounting some of
fierce-
the adventures I was on.
the not at all surprise ambush of dealing with the fox lady. I make us look much better.
And that's how we dealt with that weird Xiao creature that was brainwashing women.
So this bard woman, she turned into a fox, and she had men with her who turned into wolf creatures.
Yes.
That. Do you think that Artie could be one of those? It certainly might explain all the dead sheep.
The interesting
Problem
thing
with that is that we haven't seen any footprints from such a creature around there.
which is why I was curious when you said something about a flying demon, because it's almost as if something's coming down from the sky and
Yeah,
killing them and then flying off.
the best lead we've had so far is the possibility of it being some kind of large flying creature that's been attacking the sheep.
Well, I mean, I was just making something up. It was. Don't put any stock in that.
Oh,
Well.
well.
It was just interesting because it somewhat fit one of our theories at the moment.
Well, you know how it is. As they say about fortune telling and the like. People want to see truth in it, and so they do.
Yeah, that's
True.
fair.
Speaking of fortune telling, what are your thoughts on Mother Weir?
I mean, she's a fine woman, but I don't put any stock in that fortune-telling nonsense that she does. I've had my fortune told occasionally.
And what
And
did
none of it
what
came
did
true.
Well,
the
I mean,
card
as I
hold?
said, you know, if you make it vague enough, it's easy to fit anything in, you know?
Yeah. Do you think she has
That
any
is
actual
true.
like powers or anything, or she's just being clever?
No. She just knows herbs and such.
But fortune telling does bring in a few coins.
I
Oh,
imagine
indeed
so.
it does.
Did you hear about the thing that we about what happened on the underside?
I don't think I did. We haven't had much talk from there. Most people don't want to travel too far any more than they absolutely have to.
We had a
we
bit
sh-
of an
We shouldn't scare him with talk of
Yeah.
that. We don't really know the truth of that anyways.
yeah. It was weird.
Lafdul,
It was
that
quite
is
weird.
absolutely 100% true. This guy has probably gotten more money than anyone other than Div.
Yep.
I didn't think I'd be paying him so much. It just kept going and going. Probably the wealthiest guy on the freaking asteroid now, other than Dev.
And a character laughed. Do you need us to keep
No, I'm heading
distracting him?
back to the party.
Well,
Well, thank you for your time, sir. We appreciate it.
yes. Thank you for what information you were able to give us.
If you hear anything of interest, please keep us in mind.
Yes.
Well, if you ever want to have some more gold burning a hole in your pocket, you know where to find me.
Right.
He's a paladin. They encourage them to be generous.
Don't say that.
She sort of does a little bow to him. Oh, we will leave you to your afternoon, sir. Good day.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave and then I'm gonna head back.
Okay. So you return to the rest of the party that's been waiting some distance away.
Mm-hmm.
I think the beggar will be buying himself nice new curtains and a doormat with all the gold
He's
you
probably
gave.
gonna buy more door hinges.
You
After
could
he fleeced me like that.
you could certainly buy a lot of the things. Yes,
He could almost buy his way off this asteroid.
he probably
just
could
gone-
actually.
Yeah,
Good.
he's now
Yeah.
like the upper class instead of
know.
like the begging class.
He could actually quite
This is
probably.
just like a drop in the bucket for me, but it's
Alright.
like a windfall for him.
Is the beggar gone back in the house or something? Or is he going off to town?
Yes, he does go back into his house.
Alright, then I tell the party that I couldn't tell too much other than it was messy. I didn't get any magical emanations from him, from the house, but I did get something from him.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a magical aura. I couldn't tell what. though. I couldn't tell if
Interesting.
it was an item. Something's affecting him.
Huh.
So he might be disguising himself as a person with a dodgy leg.
It's not encompassing his whole form, sorry.
Well, where was
It's
the magic
on
aura
him.
on him?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, what part did it encompass?
I couldn't tell.
Detect
I
magic
couldn't even
really is
tell-
not that precise.
So,
I'm getting like a magical emanation from that direction, from that person.
what do we do now?
Well, didn't really get much from him. He believes Artie is guilty.
Everybody seems to believe Artie's guilty. Well, we're fairly certain he's not.
Yeah, he said everyone liked Venera and that she was sweet. He was quite upset when I asked him about why he would say that the towns would get what was coming to them.
just real fast, we seem to be having a Discord issue. I noticed that Higgimus's player is dropped off, and my other machine with Discord on it is disconnected, so we might have some more problems coming up.
Oh no.
Oh
It's
dear.
affecting. Well,
Hopefully not.
So go on. Sorry.
He was very upset and talked about going to Div and telling him not to trade with people.
He might
Who
have been
would say
saying it.
that?
Out of character, slander is always a good way to ask questions.
Well, no, it was more I wanted to see what his reaction would be, and the fact that his first, very suspicious that his first thought was, I will go to Div. He disseminated once I tried to dig more into it and ask why Div would go just off of his say-so, and he sort of just said, well, because Div is like the mayor. But I'm almost wondering if there's something more there. It's hard to
Like-
say.
What, he's got like some pull over Div or
No, Div, you guys would kind of realize that Div is functionally the
Yeah. It's
leader
more,
of the community. He's the closest thing to a mayor they have.
It's
Okay.
more
And also
somebody in the
closest thing of the authority if there is some trouble in between the villagers.
Yes, it's more just the fact a beggar who, from all accounts, seems a bit of an outcast would first thing he would say that he will go to Div. Just seemed odd to me.
Well, keep in mind that as Div is
Yeah.
he is the town's trader. He is the guy
Yeah,
that
and
everyone sells their stuff through and who everyone buys like outside raw materials from.
Yes.
So if he were to ostracize someone by saying, "Yeah, I'm not trading with you anymore," that would probably ruin their
yeah.
livelihood.
Well, yeah, it's more that Tevin would believe that Div would, just never mind.
Believe him.
Well,
Okay.
like I
I
said,
gotcha.
Div being the closest thing they have to authority, it would be that he goes to say that someone is slandering him and hoping that Div basically would judge the case.
You back, Higgimus?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had some issues with Discord.
Discord, yeah, it's Lafdul's disconnected too.
Oh no.
I
Oh,
just
dear.
restarted my computer, and that seemed to fix.
It's probably a case where I think some of their servers are having some issues. Most of us have been fine, but my other computer disconnected, so but it's
I
back.
remember if you said what the results were from Lafdul's locate object in the town was.
He did not find anything in town.
Okay.
Too bad his spell wasn't still going when we got up to the shack.
Well, it doesn't have that long of a duration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
would not have
maybe-
lasted out here.
Yeah. So I was saying it's too bad that wouldn't.
Plus, it's one of those things where we have very little clues and we just keep running into dead ends.
It's the flying demon was interesting, but that could have been just he came up with the wildest thing he could think of.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Said we get some clues and then we run into dead ends, and it doesn't help that nobody really wants to talk to us in town.
Okay, now Ockar is dropped.
Yeah, we got Lafdul back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think-
Discord
I think-
server issues.
Yeah.
Lafdul,
think-
did you find anything interesting in the house?
It was just messy.
So to expand upon that a little bit more, it's messy. The stuff inside was, not particularly like it didn't look valuable. Like he had, cracked and chipped pottery, crockware, that sort of thing. Most of the stuff appeared to be secondhand, as far as you could tell. It was a mess. Like there's just piles of clothes everywhere and stuff like that. However, being that it was clearly a former barn or something similar, some sort of farm building as opposed to a farmhouse, there weren't a whole lot of windows. The windows looked into a main room, and you could not see into other rooms in the place.
Wonder if it's worth breaking in here when he's out.
Well, he's been given a reason to leave the house, so with
This
all
is
that
true.
newfound wealth, so I'm just gonna wait around to scout around the house once he disappears.
Ockar, it's your own fault. Ockar, who is not here, it is your own fault for being so generous that first day.
Well, he's a paladin.
Lafdul's learned his lesson. Never again.
Sinrae is letting other people be generous for her.
Wow.
She's an artist.
I am a starving artist. Never mind that couriers get paid quite well.
Oh, that's not an important detail.
Details.
I think if Ockar minded giving his money away, he'd say something.
I'm helping.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm helping him be generous.
I'm back, I think.
He probably would
Yes,
get
you are.
XP for that anyway, because it's part of his thing.
I'm not sure that he would get XP for being manipulated into giving away a lot of money.
Oh, he would have to be of his own choosing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was probably going to give the money to the beggar anyways. I was just making it an exchange for information.
So Sinrae gets XP for manipulating.
I like that. Yes.
Oh. Nobody gets XP. This was a bad idea. We should do something else.
We've already done it. Too late.
Alright.
I mean, we should go on
the
and do
room,
something else.
the place was just dirty. That's it.
Messy.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was anything stolen or out of place. It didn't look like it belonged. I couldn't find anything.
But you did say that there was some magic emanating from him.
Yeah, something's odd about him. He shouldn't have magic.
Did he look like he had a basement?
Or a loft.
If he-
I have a dispel magic memorized.
Yeah, was. You would only render his item in there, if anything. And plus, whoever's nearby would be too close. They would also be dispelled. Because you don't know what you're targeting.
I mean, we can always step away and then dispel.
Here, could you just stand over there?
He has
I
gone
was
back
wondering-
into his house.
Oh yeah, you could
Yeah.
dispel the house. And
Yeah.
he would be
Oh.
inside of it.
I was wondering if he had a basement, if maybe he was spellcast.
I'm not an engineer, I didn't see one, but we do have an engineer, but he would...
I would have to go inside.
Yeah, probably. There's
But,
no outward sign of a basement.
Also, my character wouldn't break in.
No. What I would word it like this. So when the beggar's gonna go to well, what's his name? I forget. Tevin. When he goes to town, you could say that your house could do some repairs. I'm an engineer. I could give you some pointers. I mean, I know this. You know, I think you can get a discount with this, or that would be better there, or you know, you could ply your trade, and that would allow you to scout around. Because something's odd with him. We need to investigate what that is.
And he definitely didn't want us going in his house, but that could have been just his
Yeah.
house is a mess.
But because we got a magical aura from him, that's ruled out at this point.
I'm guessing you couldn't tell what it was exactly.
No.
It's unusual for a beggar to have a magic item. Though.
I mean,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It would
Especially if
also
he's
be
got no
unusual for a
magical-
beggar to be affected by magic on a place that has no apparent spellcasters that you're aware of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
because it could be magic on him. It may not be a magic item,
Did the
but
beggar
it could
not...
be magic affecting him.
What time of day it is at the moment?
It's getting on to 2-ish.
What were you going to say?
Was... Because Ockar has an aura, doesn't he?
I have an aura of good.
Yeah, that visibly affects anyone that's evil.
No, not
They'd
visibly.
be agitated.
Not necessarily. Might make them uncomfortable, but it could just be a case of, you know, when you're close to someone that you don't like, just be like, I don't like this person. But it doesn't necessarily make any visible thing. You can't use... the paladin protection from evil thing doesn't make evil people obvious. It makes the paladin obvious to evil people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Well, no,
didn't
the whole
seem
point is
too
to
uncomfortable.
look for body language to see, like, if he's... He did say about the staring, why are you staring at me, kind of like that. That might have just been
well,
anything.
to be fair, I was
trying
staring
to
at him.
detect evil.
Yeah, to be fair, he was staring at him.
I mean, detect evil requires that you
stare
stare
into
at the
your
target.
very soul, you stupid beggar.
He was doing
So-
attack.
Calling him stupid.
Yeah, so detect evil intent, you have to concentrate and present your holy symbol. Like, it's not something that... Unless you can do it in such a way that you're, like, behind an object or behind a curtain or something like that, in some way hidden from sight, or disguised from sight or something like that, it's obvious that you're doing it. You really can't just go around detect evil all the time and know these things. It's obvious.
It's like my detect evil spell as well. It's the same. I've got to have my holy symbol out.
Yeah, you'd need
Apart
to
from my holy symbol changes.
You'd need something like detect alignment, but that's all out of character meta.
I think
I've got no alignment.
Lafdul should steal himself a monocle so he can keep the monocle in front of himself and stare through it.
Well, we still don't know this, but yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a clever way to have a holy symbol that people don't see.
Lafdul, are you wanting to stick around here and wait till he leaves, or do we just want to come back in the evening?
I kind of do want to stick around. Yeah.
Do you want one of us?
No.
I
It's
think
easier to hide by myself.
All right, if you're sure.
Well, I just want to investigate why he's got an aura. That's odd.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like him, maybe from Div, you know, maybe he's got a magical ring that makes him get better. People are more friendly towards him, you know, it helps his trade. That's understandable. Why would a beggar have something? I mean,
Well, should we then do this so that you stay here and wait for the opportunity while the rest of the party does something, so we just don't wait as a group in here and spend the time in that.
All right.
Yes.
Well, what's something else we wanted to go do then?
Well,
Solas want
I
to check
think
out the other two buildings.
Yeah, the other two locations, north side of the hill.
Yeah,
Okay.
it might be a good idea to check those.
What time of day is it?
About 2.
All right. Well, we'll have time to check those out, and then we'll have to go back probably.
Yeah, I was thinking.
where are you
if-
going to head
if
back?
we
So I
were-
need to catch up with you if I'm waiting here.
Hang on, because we're over here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
it's a couple of miles.
Would it be worth checking out this farmhouse on the way round to here and here? Because we're
That's-
near that farmhouse.
Yeah, but that's in the completely opposite direction.
Yeah, but it's nearer to us than the others are.
Well, we know it's a farmhouse. We do not know what those two places are.
Lafdul, do you have any spells or anything that could get a message to us if you're in trouble?
I don't have them memorized, but yes, I do have access to the spells in general. I just didn't memorize them.
I will give the Lafdul that ring of spell storing, so that if he gets in trouble, he can use the defensive spells on it.
What spells does it got on it?
It has a shield and blur.
Can I even use those spells?
Anyone can
Everyone
use-
can use that ring.
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just
If it's
that
already- if it's already in the ring,
mage
use
mage
it.
has to cast the spells on it, and it already has those spells.
Yep.
So you can get the shield and blur spell for yourself if you get in
Just
trouble.
be careful, Lafdul.
Oh, that's such kind thoughts coming from.
Well, since
there
you
might be
are
more
going
crows
to be
around.
alone,
Do you want
Since
someone's? Sorry.
No, this is a lone thing. I do it alone.
since if you are
I
going
just
to
need to know where you are. That's all.
I
We'll
was going to
probably-
say, do you want someone to stay and be a lookout?
No.
Well, I'd almost say we should, after we check those out, we should head back into town.
Yeah, I think we have just enough time to check them out and head in town before
Alright,
it
then
gets
I'll be in
nightfall.
town afterwards.
Yeah,
If I'm not in town, then
You're dead.
No, if it gets dark. If I've been waiting for until midnight, then I'm just gonna head back to town. I'm literally just gonna wait until he leaves.
Okay.
I'm gonna find somewhere to hide in the grass, I guess, because there's nowhere else to hide around here.
You can hide on the roof.
I could.
I
it'd be
shall,
easy.
I shall use the roof as a hideout.
Actually, are there any trees around here?
There are some trees, nothing that makes a grove or a copse or anything like that, but there are some trees. They tend to be a little bit stubby and stumpy, not like
No, it's
tall and
basically
straight.
something to hide behind, maybe.
There are bushes, and the ground isn't completely flat.
Alright, yeah, then I look for somewhere to hide.
Okay. You would probably be able to
relative-
find something close enough that you can at least see a figure leave the house, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
To give myself. Yeah, I'm literally just looking for something leaving the house.
Right. All right.
That looks like it's hobbling.
All right. So you do so. The rest of the party, you're gonna head over to the other two spots out here.
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you want to go? Which directions?
Well, I think if Sinrae wanted to check RD, we could go RD's cave and then the northernmost.
Why didn't you check out this house?
Yeah, that's what I suggested.
Because it's far.
And
was-
we know it's a farmhouse.
Because someone ploughed the word farmhouse in the field outside.
I wouldn't have revealed that if someone hadn't given you the information. I don't remember
Okay.
how you got it before, because I don't think you've been there, but someone gave you the information.
Wasn't it, what's his name?
Lyric?
Lurik.
Yeah, it
Lurik.
might have been.
Yeah,
We asked him what's further west.
Yeah, it might have been.
yeah, I think Lurik gave the information.
Hmm.
I think it was the case that there was a dead sheep around there.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's up to you guys. Do you want to go there or not?
I say it's in the completely wrong direction.
Yeah. And if we want to be before nightfall on the village, we do not have that much time.
I think I'm outvoted, but we'll go there later.
I'd be with Braxon and going there.
What?
He's not outvoted. There's somebody else who thinks the way he does.
Oh, you mean it's 2 versus 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what does Higgimus and Ockar say?
Let's.
Braxon wants to go check that farmhouse on the west side of the map.
What would
No
we
way.
find there?
We don't even know what these two places are.
Yeah, we do not
Yeah.
know about them. Lurik has told us that the point of interest on the west side of the map is farmhouse.
Yeah.
But Braxon and Leva would still like to go and see it.
I'm not sure we should spook any more farmers today.
The other side's probably be farmers too.
So, Ockar
More
Higgimus,
likely.
what do you want to do?
Let's go check see what these things are.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to swing by RD's cave on the way?
Yeah, and keep an eye out to make sure we're not being followed.
Do we have rations and water to give him?
I got some.
Okay.
Okay. So you make your way to Artie's cave. You do find it empty, but there's no sign of struggle.
All right.
Okay, I'll just leave.
I think like he's just out there trying to find Finera.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave some food and a water skin for him, and then we can head out and come by again later.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright.
Sounds good.
All right. So you make your way over the fairly rough terrain on the steep side of the slope, and come around on the north side.
You
And
keep an eye out for this big bird.
I assume so that you would. I mean, you also said that you're keeping an eye out, see if you're being followed and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt we are going around blindfolded.
No, I was just wondering if there was some sort of bird-like creature, it might be in another cave.
Well, I think if a giant bird went overhead, I think we'd notice.
Also,
not necessarily. Depends on how high.
I think it's safe to assume that wherever we travel on the wilderness, we are always a bit on the lookout.
But birds fly over your heads, you don't necessarily look straight up.
Okay.
Yeah, but they just don't appear directly straight up on you. They usually come somewhere.
Lafdul might actually look up a lot more these days.
That's true.
Yeah, he's got some crows.
Especially if there's crows around.
Yes.
Somebody told me it's lucky.
Yeah. Sure. I doubt it.
It's smelly.
It's something.
All right. So you make your way around the hill, and you start to approach the location of the structure that you saw from up on top. As you near it, you see what is clearly some sort of building that has not been used in any recent time. It's overgrown with ivy. You can see that there are clearly holes in the roof of this structure. It looks like there's a second story on it that's kind of open. The ceiling on that is completely gone. It might have been some sort of temple or small temple. It's not very big. But it's hard to say from, as you're approaching. You're going to keep going closer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't have a roof, I think that might be a
the
place
top
where flying
part,
things.
there's a top part that is, like there's the main first floor building. That's mostly roofed, but there's some holes. And then there's a protrusion further up, like almost like a tower or something, but it's not that big. So it's like a second story.
Right.
Would it look like something that big flying creature could enter and exit?
Depends on how big the flying creature is.
Well, the size that can kill sheep.
I'd be more interested to see if it's dwarven. Solas.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, of course. But,
something that could kill sheep could definitely could be of many different sizes. So. All right. So you're gonna keep going
Might be
closer.
a rabbit.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's go check it out.
All right. As you get closer, you can see that the front of the structure does still have a pair of doors. They are closed.
Is there any symbols on the doors?
Nothing that you can see. The doors are pretty. they're working, but whatever was on them is like covered in grime and has flaked. You know, there's a lot of heavy damage to the doors. They're very heavy doors, but anything that was on them has been destroyed by time. This is clearly an old building.
Not destroyed by someone trying to break in.
Well, hard to say. I mean, time would make that difficult to tell. I mean, unless they were trying to break in very, very recently, which doesn't appear to be the case. Around the front, you can see outside what appears to be old foundations of buildings.
Other buildings?
Yeah, so you'd guess that maybe there was a small community here at some point.
Oh, so this is like the remains of an abandoned town.
Maybe town might be a little bit generous.
Right, because that's what it's like on the asteroid that I come from.
Does the ruins look like a similar construction that the tower is made?
Do you have stoneworking?
No, I only have engineering.
It's hard to say then.
Okay.
So, I guess, so we got this ruined town or something?
Yeah, but the only thing left is this,
Braxon's gonna try and open the door.
Ruined shrine.
Shall we have Lafdul check it first? For
Lafdul isn't with you?
Lafdul isn't
not with
us. Does the doorway look like it's stable? Solas? If I were to open this door, it's not gonna all collapse around me, is it?
He doesn't have stoneworking.
Braxon's already trying to open the door.
But would engineering? Oh well, if you can't, okay, you're opening the door.
All right.
Well, I already said it.
Braxon, you go up to the door and push against it, and it's the doors move. They're pretty heavy, but they do open.
Ooh.
They creak a bit. But
Is it dark inside?
Fairly, it's dark-ish, mainly because there aren't a whole lot of windows. You did see on the outside some very overgrown, tall, narrow windows.
Yeah.
But other than that and a few holes in the roof, there's not a whole lot of light coming in. Also, the front entrance is below the tower part. So this is
right.
You'd guess that this is probably the darkest part.
Braxton's going to get his light out and shine it through the doorway before he goes in.
Okay. You see a short hallway. Beyond that is another pair of double doors. The front entrance is double doors, I should clarify. And
okay.
On this short hallway to either side, there's 2 more doors.
Any murder holes in the ceiling?
No, it's just thick wood.
Okay.
Well, shall we delve in?
Is it a wooden floor?
Mm-hmm.
No, it is a stone floor.
Okay.
Anything in there you see so far, Braxon?
Looks quite stable.
All right. In that case,
Don't see any murder holes in the ceiling. Stone floor.
Can I hear anything from inside?
Probably not, because Braxton's been pretty noisy.
Ah.
But if you want to tell him to be quiet and listen.
Yeah, see, Braxon, could you stay still and shush for a moment so I can see what I can hear.
Sorry.
What's your score?
50.
You do not hear anything. It is very quiet.
All right.
All right.
Don't
Well,
hear.
let's go in.
Braxton's going to take one finger and sweep it across, see if there's thick dirt there.
Across the what? I'm sorry?
Braxton's going to rub a finger across the floor, see if the floor's dirty.
It does not appear so, but the floor is a little bit slick.
It's slick.
Yeah.
Seems like...
Hang on. Floor seems a bit slick.
Water.
Yeah?
Yeah, water. Probably from the rain. If there's any holes.
This seems like a good place for like somebody to hide somebody's, and I doubt people come by here that often.
Also seems a place where which would be filled with different molds.
Right. Braxton's going to step in slowly, being prepared to lift up each foot if it feels like the floor's moving or something like that. So walking like a cat.
Yeah, keep your eyes out for any trip lines or anything.
Okay, Braxton, you're the only one going in right now?
I'm going in as well.
Hey,
I'll
I think
go
he
in
was
too.
going to go in too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Follow
Higgimus, the ceiling is just inches above the top of your head. You had to duck down to get through the doorway.
Okay. No overhand chops, I guess.
Probably not.
Unless you want to chop through the roof trying to do it.
I pull out my gun.
Okay. So you, all the other doors are closed. The two on either side look a lot more rickety. They're lighter, smaller than the doors that you just entered, and the far doors.
It's two sets of doors opposite each other, isn't it?
Yeah, left, right,
Yeah.
and then straight ahead. It's a
Oh,
just a
left
short
and right
hallway.
as well.
Yeah, left and right and straight ahead. You're just in a short hallway.
Okay, so left and right will be two small rooms, I'm guessing.
That
And straight ahead
seems
will be into
reasonable.
the rest
Yeah.
of the building.
Yeah.
Should we check these rooms out before we open the other doors?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think
think
that
we
would
should.
be a good idea.
Yes.
I'll check the
Okay.
one on the right.
I will also take my lantern out and check the details if there is anything like anything like murals or anything on the walls.
Any markings of a deity yet?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Not in here. The architecture is very plain and almost like everything is square cut. Everything is kind of rough. But you're also not in the main chamber yet.
Yeah,
So-
we're on the entry hall.
So Sinrae, you were going to go to the right.
Yes.
Okay.
How big is the room?
I'll follow after Sinrae.
I'm going to request that nobody with a light follow me.
It's very, very well with everyone in this hallway. It's very tight now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you carefully open the door.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you open up the door slowly and look around. You can see a thick wooden ladder up against the left-hand wall.
Okay.
Going into this room. You can also see a lot of rusted hooks along the wall. And there's some remains of benches that have clearly rotted and collapsed along the walls as well. And you think beneath some of the hooks you see some old rotting cloth of some sort. The ladder leads up to what is clearly a trapdoor in the ceiling, which is closed.
Okay. There's a trapdoor up here in the ladder. I'm not sure what the integrity of the ladder is. You guys want me to try to go up?
Well, I have my own ladder. You could try the weight of that ladder.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Sinrae, she's gonna test the ladder before she tries climbing it
Okay.
to see if it will hold her weight.
All right. It seems pretty sturdy. It's also feeling it has a pretty good preserver on it, and does not look like it's really rotted much at all. That said, you don't think that you would recommend Higgimus try to climb it.
Yeah.
It's not meant to ladder then.
I'll go up and stick my head up and see what I can see.
Okay.
Probably the fastest to be able to do that and get back down if there's something up there. So she's gonna climb up the ladder and try the trapdoor.
All right. The trapdoor does not appear to have any weight on it as you push against it with your hand. It's not latched in any way that you can tell. It lifts up pretty easily. There is some squeakiness on the hinges, however. And you peek up over the edge, and you can see that you're looking out into a wide open chamber with large windows. Which I probably should have mentioned before. That little tower thing had some large openings.
Is there anything else in the room I can see?
Nothing clear, but you're only just peeking up over the edge, and you're kind of limited in your range of vision based on being on the ladder.
She's gonna go back down the ladder and let everybody know what she saw.
Okay.
Do you guys want me to go? Some of us want to go up and explore that room more, or do we want to methodical?
I think we should check the ground floor first.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the room opposite's another one goes up to the roof.
Do you want me to try that one as well?
Can do.
We should check it.
If you want to be the sneaky person.
Guess I'm the closest the sneaky person we've got at the moment.
Okay.
Well, you're quite good at being sneaky before.
So
Sneak around delivering messages.
you open up the opposite door?
Yes,
the left-hand door?
Yes.
Okay. It opens onto a room of a similar size.
All right.
However, this chamber has what's clearly an old cot or bed of some sort. At least one of the legs has collapsed. It's kind of resting at an angle, and the mattress of that was clearly a straw pallet has been fallen apart, ripped apart kind of thing, and is moldering and rotting there on the remains of the bed. There's also an old, broken down table with some chairs and some other, the remains of some other pieces of furniture in here.
This looks to be a bedroom of some sort. Doesn't seem to be much intact. It's all rotting.
And there is no other door out of this chamber.
Search it.
Yeah, she'll do a quick search of some of the furniture.
Okay. You hear some loud squeaks as you begin to push aside some of the moldering remains of the mattress, and two giant rats burst out and try to bite you. You succeed in dodging back. However, they kind of make note of the other people behind you, and with some more squeaks, they try to flee back into the wrecked mattress. They did both miss you.
Well, I found rats, but I don't think that's what I'm looking for.
Big rats, too.
We're a bit too high level to be dealing with rats in a cellar.
Shh, that's meta. That's too bad we don't have a giant cat or something.
Yes.
Or a crow.
These rats are bigger than the crow.
Oh.
They were big rats, but they also saw, the rest of your friends coming in too, and with Higgimus there, kind of outsized him a little bit. They ducked back in.
Yeah, let's leave the rats to their new bedroom. This is
Anything else in
obviously
here?
their bedroom now.
She did not find anything before encountering the rats. You want to continue searching?
Yeah, she's not interested in searching more. She's like, somebody else wants to search. That's up to them. I don't feel like dealing with giant rats right now.
You're done. Yeah.
Giant rats are fun.
All right, I'll look around, I guess.
Have you got a giant rat head on your wall yet, Higgimus?
No.
Do you want one?
These are not RUSS.
Well, they kind of are.
No.
Uh,
I don't believe they exist.
All right, Higgimus. You do send the rats scurrying again, but you do not find anything of interest in the room.
Oh, okay. Well, let's continue on.
so, as a out of character note, my cat heard me saying rats, and he's now looking.
All right, so who's going to open the double doors opposite the
I'll
entrance?
open it.
Oh, okay.
These double doors squeak on the hinges as you slowly open them. They're pretty heavy, and the hinges are not exactly in the best of shape. But it opens into a squarish room that's clearly about as wide as it is long, give or take. And you're pretty sure it's full width of the building. You can see some piles of wooden debris, and at the far end of the room is what's clearly a large stone altar of some sort.
Any holy symbols or any sort of symbols like that yet?
No, there are some torch sconces on the wall, and you do see the narrow windows that are mostly overgrown. There's no glass in them and no remains of glass. It's a pretty bare bones construction. And you do see some impressions along the back wall that you would guess held something, but that is no longer there, whatever it was. Something was on the wall, large-ish, but is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is the stone altar solid stone?
You're not sure. How would you check that?
Not
Yeah,
sure.
Did Sinrae say that out loud?
No, I was asking the
Okay.
Is there any markings on the stone altar? Like carved runes or such?
No, it's pretty plain.
Okay.
Sinrae is going to check to see if there's any hidden buttons or anything around the altar, see if it shifts or moves.
Okay, you're
Well,
gonna...
I check around the room if there is any markings of who this shrine might have been dedicated.
Okay. Is anyone else searching as well, or just you two?
Yeah.
I'll help
Braxon's-
search.
Braxon's going to look for anything that might be a lever
Okay.
or
So, everyone who spoke up begins looking around. Solas, on the back wall, you do notice that the depression also hides a switch of some sort. There's a loose stone there that you think could be pressed. At the same time, Sinrae, you are pretty sure that altar can slide to the side. You can see some scrapes on the floor, and also you saw some deep scratches along the altar itself.
I
Well, I
think this
mentioned
altar
about
can move.
the switch.
And this altar definitely looks like it's able to be moved. She gets up and steps back. Try hitting the switch.
Well, I press the switch.
Okay. You stare at the altar, which does not move, but instead you hear a slight grinding sound from the back wall as a door pops open there.
I'm
Oh,
gonna see if
cool.
I can push the altar, just in case.
Well, I think the door that just opened would be more important.
Well, she knows the scratch marks, I still want to test it at least.
I think both are of equal importance.
So, with my 1850 strength, because I think I saw that strength spell on me, right?
Yeah. Are you trying to open? Which side are you trying to push from?
Which side did she see the scratch marks on?
She saw the scratches along two of the corners. When you coming in, the two corners are on the left, but they're on the corners.
Then I'm going
So back
to,
left, front left kind of thing.
Then that means that it gets pushed towards the left, so I'm gonna try to push that way.
So you're
Do you
going to be
want a
on the
hand?
left pushing?
I'm gonna be on the right pushing towards the left.
Okay.
Do you want a hand?
Sure.
Alright. Is there space for Ockar to push, for Brax to push the same side as Ockar, or?
Yeah, this room is pretty
Brax
big.
pull?
Yeah.
Okay.
What seems to be behind the secret door?
Okay, while
I see
Braxon
my
and
lantern.
Ockar are pushing on the altar, Solas, you're gonna look into that.
I will
behind
shine
the
my lantern so that I can see if there is anything in there.
Okay, it's very dark. However, you do see some light reflect. Well, not light, but you do see some reflections off your lantern light. You're gonna push the door open a bit more, all the way.
No, just enough that I can see the reflections.
Okay.
I raise my gun.
And mention that there seems to be some reflections.
All right. You open the door a bit more, letting more of your light shine in. Inside, you see a room. It's actually slightly raised up. The floor appears to be completely dry, and it's other than the light coming in from outside. It's pitch dark. There are no cracks, no holes in the ceiling, nothing like that. It's clearly a storage room of some sort, but it's very much been protected from the weather and everything like that. And you see some rotting remains of some containers, a few broken, some pottery shards that you'd guess held some sort of liquid oil or water or something like that. But also, you see some sort of bundle wrapped up in oilcloth that's intact. Your light reflects off of a pair of gold candlesticks and a golden goblet studded with some sort of small stones.
It's the Holy Grail. Sorry.
No, it's not the cup of a carpenter.
No, stop.
I will,
Government of Carpenter is a coffee mug with his name written on it.
I will cast detect magic
Okay. You do not detect any magic coming from the chamber.
Or from any item.
Nope.
Okay.
Solas, you should check the goblet and candlesticks to see
Yeah.
if you can recognize them for any god.
Yeah, I check if there is any markings on the goblets or candlesticks.
There is not.
Oh, well.
Solas, how were you able to tell what the god up at the tower was?
I felt his divinity because he is part of the pantheon I worship.
And you don't feel anything here?
No,
No,
It's too
you do
bad.
not. It does not feel like a holy place.
so it's not a holy place of my pantheon.
Well, it's not even,
But
like, you don't even think this is sanctified right now. Whether it was in the past, you can't tell, but...
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Well, these people
But,
certainly aren't gonna
I
need
will
this.
I will say that we should check the storeroom if there is anything other important in here.
Mm. If it's been sealed up, there might be something in there that hasn't been taken.
Well, there were the golden candlestick and goblet,
I think we should take those with us.
and also there is something bundled in oilcloth.
Do you
So
want to?
there might be something intact in there.
Yeah, we should take that.
I think we have a left.
I often hear a lot of, we should do this, as
Let's
opposed
take
to...
it.
Yes.
Let's take
Let's
it.
take it. Let's take the
Uh,
stuff.
I think I will search the room if no one else is going to search the room.
Okay.
Sinrae's going to, while he's doing that, check the bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sinrae, you untie the oilcloth, and inside is a large gold silk cloth. You'd guess it would fit over the large stone altar, but there's no symbology on it. There's some geometric designs along the edge in kind of a black silk thread, but nothing that you or Solas would recognize as a symbology, religious symbology.
Right.
Well, whatever happened here, they left some things behind.
Yeah, this is quite an old ruin, I'd say,
Braxon's disappointed.
based on the damage.
Braxon's disappointed it's not a Temple of Ptah.
And Braxon and Ockar, you have not been able to make the altar budge.
Okay, let's try the other side.
But,
All right, I'll help out.
But, it's about time to take our break.
Oh,
So when we come back next time, we'll see if the party finds out if this thing actually does move. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you then, everyone.
See you soon.
See you soon.